Hello and welcome back to Trails in the Sky the Third. Since the last episode, I did spend a little bit of time off screen doing a bit more grinding for money and levels. So I have everybody up just a little bit higher now, and I got most of the equipment and stuff that I wanted. In this episode, we are going to head to the door that requires Joshua and Kloe. I don't remember which door that is, but we're gonna go do that one. And see what that gives us. I don't think I've done any of this kind of door yet. I think I've done the other two, but not this one. Boy with the eyes of amber and the princess with an indomitable will. That should be, yeah, Joshua and Kloe. I don't think I've done enough battles for the 100 battle one yet. I would have to double check. Last time I looked, I had like 80-something victories. I don't know if it's just I need to enter battle that many times or actually that many victories, but I shall grant to you a memory fragment and my blessing. Breaking news! Liberl News Special Issue. The Flying City falls. Liberl is safe once more. Glory to the young bracers who saved us all from crisis. I wonder who wrote this. The Liber Arc collapses. Enigmatic object gone in a flash. Mysterious structure that appeared last month over Valeria Lake disappeared as suddenly as it came, collapsing loudly in a giant mountain of rubble into the lake. Many of our readers may have witnessed the moment for themselves, but it seems that it was visible not only from Liberl, but from the southern edge of the Empire and from Calvert as well. A small minority argued that the structure may have been a new weapon belonging to the Royal Army, but this turn of events seems to conclusively rule out that possibility. The collapse of the Liber Arc also caused a 2-arc-high tsunami around the edges of the lake, but so far there have been no reports of serious injuries, fatalities, or missing persons as a result of this. The worst that seems to have been reported is a number of unfortunate fishermen who were unable to escape in time, getting covered in water. According to an investigation by the Royal Guard and Bracer Guild, it was a flying city from ancient Sumerian times. How exactly it came to be above Valeria Lake to begin with, or what caused it to collapse, remains to be confirmed, but it appears to be without a doubt that the international crime syndicate known as the Society was somehow involved. While this has yet to be officially confirmed, reports suggest that an investigation team in the city encountered a group of Crimson soldiers there supporting the above theory. This place is just one mystery after another, but we can't let those guys get away with any more than they already have, said a member of the team. Furthermore, Zeiss Central Factory and the Royal Army are planning to continue investigating the Liber Arc, and to this end will be launching a combined salvage operation. Around the time of the Liber Arc's collapse, the orbital shutdown phenomenon that tormented the whole of the country finally ceased. As a result, many now believe that the city caused the phenomenon, but no conclusive proof of this has been established, and we can only await further research into the issue. The orbital shutdown phenomenon and the chaos that was created as a result have been a sobering reminder of just how dependent all of us are on orbments in our daily lives. Perhaps something similar may never happen again, but this is still a good opportunity to reflect on just how much we owe to orbments and perhaps to try and reduce our reliance on them. Crown Princess Claudia has been busy. As previously reported, Her Highness Princess Claudia is now this nation's crown princess. As a result, we will be referring to her as such in all publications moving forward. I like that picture. Crown Princess Claudia wasted no time after assuming her position in meeting with Prince Olivert of the Erebonian Empire, and together they reconfirmed our two nations' relationship with one another. At the discussions, they both boarded the Arcee together. It's widely expected that this meeting will contribute to ensuring peaceful relations with Erebonia in the future. In addition, the pair plan to both be in attendance at the upcoming banquet to be held at Gransal Castle. We will bring you all the latest on that in due time. As you all know, our homeland of Liberl has fallen victim to a vast number of calamities over the past year. There was the coup d'etat, the bizarre changes at the tetracyclic towers, coming under the assault of an ancient dragon, our capital being attacked, and finally the Liber Arc's appearance as already discussed in this very issue. What you may not know, however, is that there's a group of young men and women who were involved in the resolution of all of these crises, their steel-like will and unyielding determination leading them to their conclusions. If not for them, these crises may not have been resolved or taken a turn for the worse. I would like to take this opportunity to thank them for all they have done for us. Thank you. You are truly this nation's greatest hope. I bet I know who wrote that. And there he is. What's taking you so long, Dorothy? Get a move on, or I'm gonna leave you behind. Wait! Wait for me! No time for waiting. If we take much longer, the banquet's going to start without us. We're talking about a big celebration held by the Queen here. Being late isn't an option. But I'm so hungry. I can't walk another step. I have a horrible feeling I know what's going on here. You skipped lunch so you could eat more at the banquet, didn't you? I didn't even eat breakfast. I haven't eaten a thing since yesterday. Going 30 hours without eating is making me feel all kinds of lightheaded. What the hell were you thinking? I can't move. Carry me. Hell no. Come on, we're going. There's no way we can miss an occasion like this. There's going to be Adios knows how many famous people there. First on the agenda is snapping a photo of Her Majesty and the Crown Princess. And then... Is he just dragging her? Huh? This actually isn't so bad. Yeah, I think he's literally just dragging her. No, Dorothy. At one point, this very capital was placed in grave danger. But thanks to the efforts of everyone here and many others, all is well. This humble banquet is intended to be an occasion to celebrate that fact, as well as to honor all those who contributed to making it a reality. If you would, Claudia. Of course. All those invited to today's party contributed in one way or another to protecting the peace of the world by ending the peril we were faced with. Whether it was extending a helping hand to those in need, or working to fight off the threats that instilled fear in the hearts of our people. As this country's future monarch, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you. Thank you all very much. Holding this party is nothing compared to all that you have done, but... We just made it! Whew, we're finally here! Food! Someone give me food! The hell are you doing? Eating can wait. You've got pictures to take. The Crown Princess's speech might be finishing soon. Aw, okay. Well, I do hope you will all enjoy your time here, all the same. I'm sure you are all busy men and women, burdened with a great many responsibilities and concerns. But today, I would ask that you all cast those aside in order to rest, relax, and enjoy yourselves. The food on offer here is some of the finest in Liberl, so by all means, partake until you can no more. And may the goddess bless this nation. He really has grown up so much since we first met him. Chloe really is something else, huh? I'm not sure I could dress super nice, get up in front of a crowd like this, and make a big speech the way she just did. Yeah, she is. She said she wasn't feeling confident about how she'd do as a crown princess before, but from where I'm standing, she's doing just fine. Seeing her is making me kinda jealous, though. I wish I could pull off fancy dresses the way she does. You got something to say, mister? Oh, it's nothing. You're just not all that girly most of the time, so it always takes me by surprise when you suddenly are. What do you mean I'm not girly? Sure, lately we've been so busy with helping get Liberl back in shape, so I haven't even had time to go back home. But that doesn't mean I don't want to wear a pretty dress or something once in a while, you know? I know. Still, it really is surprising just how much you've grown, even in these past few weeks. I have? Well, it's been pretty tough running up and down the country so much, but you've kept up with ease. and your judgment as a bracer are getting more spot on with every decision you make. Fancy dress or not, I think you're a pretty wonderful person, Estelle. I don't know why, but it's weird hearing you pile on the compliments so much. But what can I say? I'm glad that things seem to have finally calmed down a bit on the work front these past few days. The capital might not be entirely the way it was, but it's getting there. I think we can finally afford to take a breather. Yeah. Oh, look! Look at all that food! The chefs in the castle supposedly made the entire spread, too. There's no way I'm missing out on this. I didn't get to enjoy the food back during the birthday festivities, so now's my time to pick out big time. I'm gonna eat until I barf. Stay right here, okay, Joshua? I'm gonna go scope out the goods. She might have grown in some areas, but she's still got a ways to go in others. Hey look! How you doing, Joshua? Estelle not here with you? She just wanted to get food a second ago, actually. Are you two here more for work than fun? Bingo! There aren't many occasions where this many famous faces are gathered in one place. There was no way we could pass up the chance to come and score some interviews. Don't think you're getting out of here without answering some questions either. We'll get to you two later. So no going home until you've spoken to us, alright? Alright. Great. Next up is the Crown Princess. Hop to it, Dorothy. I can't go on. I need something to eat. Let me have something to eat. Not until we're done. Questions to ask, photos to take. Why are you so mean? Oh, Dorothy. He's even more fired up today than usual. I wonder how Estelle's doing. She's fighting with Josette, same as normal. So much for scoping out the food. I suppose this is as good a chance as any. I owe a lot to the people here on a personal level, too. Maybe I should go around and thank them while I have the chance. So, when are you coming? Hold on, I haven't even... Oh, Joshua. Hey man, making the rounds? Something like that, yeah. Anything interesting going on with you? Sort of. Agatha said he was going to come over for dinner in Zeiss a while back, so I was just asking him when he's free. Oh, that's right, so he did. When we were getting off the RSA, right? I didn't really mean it, though. It was just one of those things you say in passing but don't give much thought to. I ain't exactly swimming in free time, you know. Being a bracer's busy work. I'd like to go, sure, but I've got no idea if I'll actually have the time to do it. But I've been looking forward to you coming ever since. Okay. Let me think. Maybe the end of the month? That should be okay. I think that Friday's free? Think? Really? Is that a promise? Yeah, I guess. Aw. Any old set of groceries I can shove down my neck is fine by me. It's been a long time since I last saw you. It's good to see you again too, Professor. Although speaking of the last time, I heard there's a plan in motion to pull up the Liber Arc from the lake and investigate it? You heard right. It'll be carried out in conjunction with the Royal Army. That's not to say it'll be easy, of course. Valeria Lake's fairly deep, so we can't start hauling up bits of the city all willy-nilly. So we're intending to work on making a map of the lake's bottom using sonar first, which is going to take quite some time as it is. I got in the maid's way. Anybody up here? No. Richard! You were able to make it, Richard? Thanks to Brigadier General Bright's generosity, yes. I've received an official pardon from Her Majesty for my actions. Probably for foiling Society's attack on Grand Cell, right? That's good news. I'm happy for you. I wish I could say the same. but I don't feel as though I deserve to be pardoned at all. Now that the nation is at peace, I feel this is the time I should be facing up to my crimes, not having them swept under the rug. I can't say I don't understand, but still. Please, Joshua, you needn't look so concerned. I have no intention of refusing Her Majesty's kindness or going against her will. I merely feel a strong desire to sell things within myself, and I fully intend on following through. That is all. Alright then. Oh, I wasn't expecting to find you here. Still, thank you very much for your support during the attack on Grand Cell. It really did help us all. Oh please, I only did what I did because it was one of His Excellency's bail conditions. Make no mistake, I wouldn't have helped any of you worthless Drecks otherwise. You wouldn't think it was so hard to accept the thank you. Anybody up here? Let's see. Dumbledore! Oh, you needn't worry about us. The Academy suffered no major damage as a result of what happened. It was certainly a shock to the students, but they're all back to their usual cheery selves now. Mayor Maybell? I'd heard the Academy was actually occupied by armed assailants at one point. I was ever so worried when I first heard the news. It's a pleasure to see you again, Joshua. You too, Lila. Have you been well? I have, thank you. Although I wish I could say the same for the mayor. She collapsed from overworking herself the other day, and it sounds like her. As such, I had no choice but to force her to take some time off work. That bad? I'm afraid so. She was finally able to rest and recover enough to my satisfaction, thankfully, so she's now returned to her duties. I assure you that she's in good hands. I bet. Norman? This is some party, isn't it? I don't think you'll find a banquet with a guest list quite like this anywhere. I used to be a businessman, so I've been to my fair share of occasions like this, but I've never been to any with this many famous people in attendance. It's like literally everybody. Mayor Klaus? Joshua, it's been quite some time since I last saw you. It has. I didn't know you were here, Mayor Klaus. The mayors of each of the world's cities and towns were invited, I believe. I'm not sure why I was when I didn't do all that much to contribute to anything, but I decided to attend nonetheless. That's not true at all. I hear the food supplies that were delivered to Bose and Grand Cell were done so on your orders. That was particularly well received here, and we all know how dire things were at the time. You've got as much right to be here being thanked for your efforts as anyone else. It was? Well, that's certainly a relief to hear. Thank you very much for letting me know, Joshua. I'm sorry, I keep standing in that maid's way. No! I was trying to talk to Murdoch. Whew, it's finally all over. It just goes to show that if we endure, the goddess will eventually extend her hand of salvation to us all. That's reassuring to know. Poor Mr. Murdoch, yeah, it only gets worse for him too. Because I don't think she's back yet. Greetings, Joshua. I'd like to take this chance to thank you again for all your team did to thwart Ouroboros' schemes and return peace to Liberal. The debt of gratitude we owe is beyond measure. Please, you're exaggerating, sir. We might have been the ones who entered the Library Arc, but we wouldn't have had a chance of success if we were on our own. It was only because of you, Richard, Kurt, and the others fighting on the ground that we were able to succeed. We could certainly say the same of you, though, although it is true that none of us could have brought about peace alone. Still, I've been wanting the chance to thank you personally for all you did. The faith we had in you to see your work through to the end was just what we needed to fight. Aw. Oh, it's you. I've heard you've been lending a hand with the restoration efforts in addition to all you did with the Library Arc. You have my thanks. You're quite welcome, sir. I wasn't expecting him to thank me. I wonder if something happened. He just grew as a person. We like Morgan better now. Oh no. These two down here. It's probably not a good plan. You two look comfortable. Oh, if it isn't Joshua. Care to join us for a few drinks? Don't be shy now. The night's only just beginning. but I want to see those exquisite amber eyes of yours swim before it comes to a close. I'm good, thanks. Aw, come on. We're at a celebratory banquet here. Don't be such a spoil sport. Oh, I know. Why don't we have a few drinks to celebrate you becoming a senior bracer at the same time? It feels like it was ages ago, but we never did get to celebrate your promotion. Only Estelle's. Say, Shira? About Luciola. Silly Joshua. What are you getting all worried about her for? You really needn't be. Shira's right, especially not now. We all have our concerns and worries after all that happened over the past few weeks and months. But this is not the time to be thinking about them. This is the time to be making merry and drowning in fine drink, from sunset to sunrise. I don't think there's ever a time for not making merry as far as you're concerned. He's got a point, though. Oh, and while I've got the chance to say this to you, no more going off on your own, you hear? You have no idea how worried Estelle was about you after you last disappeared. I could barely bring myself to watch her. I won't. I've got no intention of doing anything like that again. I'm fine now. Well, if you say so. That docile expression of yours is so adorable, Joshua. Don't go showing off that face too much tonight, alright? Maybe not gonna actually beat Ina in a drinking contest. Dad. Ah, Joshua. I'm surprised to see you here, Dad. I thought you said over the phone you wouldn't be able to attend because you were so swamped. Oh, swamped is an understatement. Transporting goods needed to get the country back in order, making sure every area has all the utilities it needs. I'm drowning in work. It's going to take a while longer before we can say Liberal is back to normal, too, I fear. Come to think of it, Estelle and I certainly didn't expect to find soldiers even in Liberal's smaller villages, so it threw us off to see as much while we were helping out where we could. Doesn't come as a surprise if you're the one responsible, though. It should go a long way toward helping people feel at ease. It's times like these when we've got to do all we can for one another, and the army's no different. With Erebonia and Calvert's internal political situations a mystery to us, the reorganization of the army has to be shelved for now, too. Still, no matter how busy a man is, everyone needs to kick back and want. Kick back. What words? So make sure you make the most of tonight, Joshua. I think you need to kick back more than I do, Dad. Estelle's been pretty worried about you, you know. There's no need to worry about me. I'm hanging in there. In fact, I'd say I'm taking it too easy. I highly doubt that. Okay, so that's everybody up here. Who dat? Oh, the ambassador, okay. It's nice to be able to attend a banquet like this. It truly drives home the point that this nation is back at peace again. The trouble regarding the Liber Arc and subsequent restoration efforts have really shown me anew how capable a ruler Queen Alicia is. She's handled all that's happened impeccably. If all of this had happened in the Republic, it wouldn't have been resolved anywhere near as smoothly, let me tell you. How's it going, Joshua? Hello, Zin. Thanks again for all the help you've been giving with the restoration efforts. I don't know what we'd have done without you. Think nothing of it. It's all part of being a bracer, really. Can't say how much longer I'll be able to lend a helping hand, though. Gotta pack up and head back home at some point. The political situation isn't exactly stable over there, you see. Why, hello, Joshua. Tonight's party is hosted by Her Majesty in all her grace, so I do hope you'll enjoy yourself. You're always welcome back to the castle anytime. I'd be more than happy to help you get dolled up for the occasion, too. I'm never wearing a maid outfit again, just so you know. Trying to see who's all over here. I don't want to accidentally, trigger anything too early. Okay.
Miss Maid, I need some food. Oh, poor Dorothy. Kevin! Kevin? I wasn't expecting you to still be in Liberal. Oh, sup? You were invited too, huh? Makes sense. So, having fun? You'd better be. Take it from me. If you don't make the most of times like these and eat your heart out, you're gonna regret it later. Thank you very much for all you did for me, Kevin. If you hadn't come to Liberal when you did, don't sweat it. Not like I did anything special. Glad to see all the side effects look about gone, too. You're looking spiffy these days, Joshua. So yeah, just forget about owing me or whatever. It's all in the past now. I'm not sure if I should ask this, but are you... Joshua. I'm not going to be in Liberal for much longer, so this might be the last time we meet for a while. But I hope we'll get the chance to see each other again one day. Yeah, I hope so too. Hey Joshua. I didn't expect to see you guys here. You were invited then? Sure was. An invitation just showed up out of nowhere. You can imagine our surprise when we saw the thing. No way were we turning down some high-class grub though, so we hurried on over. That's very like you. Not gonna deny it. That aside, thanks to Her Majesty pardoning us, we're now free to walk around in the open. Feels like we should start thinking about how to make a good, honest living for ourselves. That's not the first time you've said that. Something about wanting to start up a courier service, right? Well, maybe, but that's not the only thing we could try out. Whatever we settle on, it should involve flying the skies. That's how we've lived so far. I don't want to change now. I figured that'd be the case. Looks like I'm the most fit to be at this party after all. Because I've been to plenty of high society gatherings while wearing goofy dresses. Hey, don't make it sound like I've never worn a dress before. Because I have, for your information. I just don't need to go around trying to convince everyone that I'm not a boy, unlike some people I could name. Try saying I look like a boy again and see what happens. Look, you two, I appreciate that you have your differences, but we're kind of in a really public, really high-class place here, so could you take this fight somewhere else? Yep. Leave the girls to it, I guess. I swear, it's like watching two children squabble. It's great that we're peaceful again and all, but I think these two are taking things a little too easy. After all the work we've been doing lately, it's great to be able to come to a swanky place like this and put our feet up. The food's pretty good, too. It's good to see you again, Elman. I heard you're here as the Bracer Guild's representative today. Is that true? Indeed. All of the other receptionists are busy, you see. I was the only one able to attend. That's too bad. Isn't it, though? This would have been a fine time for us to exchange information. But oh well, there's always tomorrow, as they say. Greetings, Joshua. You've done some fine work these past couple of weeks. The damage reports on the regions of Liberal you've been providing have proved invaluable in allocating personnel. I really can't thank you enough. Oh, you needn't thank me. By the way, Kurt, I feel like I need to say something regarding my Bracer badge. As you probably already know, what power I have was given to me by the Society. Before becoming a Bracer, I used it to commit many unforgivable crimes, too. No matter how much I think about it, I just can't see how someone like me is fit to call himself a Bracer. You know, Joshua, I've always seen power as an imperfect concept, and that's why I believe people are able to use it. Am I wrong? No, I suppose not. Then what difference is there between us? We are both keenly aware of our flaws, and yet we both use what limited power we have to do what we believe to be right. I see no difference. Well, I can't really argue with that logic. I still can't pretend to be completely confident in myself, though. Be that as it may, that's nothing to be ashamed of. You should simply continue striving to overcome it. And while this is but my personal opinion, I'd say you're a model bracer. Ah, if it isn't Joshua. I was just discussing the aftermath of the crisis here with Major Vander. Fortunately, the Liber-Arc's collapse caused little direct damage by itself. That might not have been the case if there had been any ships on the lake at the time, but due in part to the orbital shutdown phenomenon, none were. The tsunami afterward was quite small too. I'd say we were rather fortunate. Estelle and I were able to see as much when we traveled around the lakeshore. A few people who were watching the city collapse were caught up in it, and a small number of fishermen were splashed with water, but that's about it. Indeed, if anything, the much greater problem was the confusion that came about as a result of losing orbital power. Liberl is, after all, one of the most advanced nations on the continent when it comes to orbital technology. Ordinarily, that is one of our greatest strengths, but in this case it worked against us. The crisis has now passed, but that doesn't mean our work is done. We still have plenty ahead of us to take care of. Just the man, just the man. Pardon? Oh, Ambassador. Is this the boy you were speaking of earlier? That's correct. This is Joshua. I was just telling the Ambassador here about your various accomplishments, Joshua. It's an honor to finally meet you. I'm the resident Erebonian Ambassador here in Liberl, Dowell Cranaw. It's nice to meet you. The tale of how you flew on top of that flying city, all while knowing it may be the last thing you did, brought tears to my eyes. How you were able to participate in an operation that may have brought your death, casting aside even your girlfriend's objections, I don't know. But I know this, the world needs more young men and women like you. Thank you for saying so, sir. Just what has the Duke been telling him? Philip! Ah, good evening to you. Thank you so much for making the time to attend tonight's banquet. Oh, not at all. How are you feeling now after having some time to recover, Philip? I'm feeling quite well. You're too kind. I do believe I may have overexerted myself. That's how things are once you've reached a certain age. I find myself wondering whether I would have been able to do more if I were 30 years younger. But I suppose there's little point in doing so. I wonder what he looked like 30 years ago. Nope. Sorry, Philip. I just can't picture it. Good evening, Your Majesty. Thank you very much for inviting me today. Oh, not at all. I'm pleased to see you've come. I've been eagerly waiting the day we could meet again. I hear you and Estelle have been traveling and helping with the restoration efforts? That's correct. We both wanted to see how things were across the kingdom with our own eyes. I'm glad we did, too, because now I can finally breathe a sigh of relief. People really are strong. That they are. I've been queen for over 40 years, and the strength of Liberl's citizens continues to amaze me to this day. There are plenty who like to credit either my abilities as a ruler or orbital technology for this tiny nation's good fortune. But we would be nothing without its people. I wasn't the one who allowed us to overcome the recent crisis, or the war 10 years ago, and neither was orbital technology. No, I believe it was the will of its people to live. That's what I believe supports our country, both then and now. People's will to live? Indeed. You were gracious enough to call this country your second home, Joshua. From now on, your will to live will be another great support for this nation. As its queen, that makes me happier than you can imagine. Thank you, Your Majesty. Your words mean a lot to me. Okay, this should be the last people I have to talk to. If you would, Your Highness, a comment in celebration of the fact that this crisis is past now? Just nothing too formal, alright? I'd prefer something that brings out your bright and cheery nature. What? You'd like me to give a comment? Well, let's see. Looks like she's being interviewed at the moment. I should leave her be for now. But I already talked to everybody. Okay. Okay, I think that's about everyone now. There were a few people I didn't get to talk to, though, so hopefully I can make another round of the party later once they're free. I literally talked to everybody. I say, other than Kloe. He's being so mean. Just let the poor woman eat. Hey, Kloe. Finally got a bit of a break? It must be exhausting having to do one interview after another. Well, I suppose it is a little. Not too bad, though. I've had to do a lot more of them ever since becoming Crown Princess, so I'm starting to get used to them. I can believe it. It feels like I've been seeing your face in all kinds of papers and magazines lately. I think anyone would learn to adjust after a while. Well, you know. It probably won't be too long before it starts to die down, so just hang in there. All you can really do is grin and bear it until then, unfortunately. Yes, I know. That's exactly what I intend to do, too. I swore to myself that I would do all I could to help and protect this country's people. Accepting a few interviews here and there is the easy part. Well, if you say so. You really are strong. I'm not so sure about that. I still feel as if I'm doubting myself a lot of the time. Like I just have to keep going out of my comfort zone, feeling reckless with every push. Maybe so. Still doesn't change the fact that you're strong. Not to me, anyway. I remember the strength you showed trying to protect Clem when we first met, too. Thank you. I nearly forgot about that. Maybe now would be the best time after all? Something on your mind, Kloe? Could I have a little of your time, Joshua? I've got something I want to say to you. Sure, okay. This way, then. Is it just me? Or does she seem kind of bothered by something? Where's Estelle right now, anyway? I've got stomachs to spare. Oh, she's picking up her pace. This could get interesting. Whose side are you on, anyway? I guess I can just leave her as she is for now. She seems pretty occupied. So, Kloe, what was it that you wanted to tell me? Look, if I've done something to offend you, I'm sorry, alright? I love you, Joshua. She actually told him? What? I did not expect her to ever tell him. I'm sorry. I'm happy you feel that way, but don't worry. I knew exactly how you were going to respond before I said anything. I just felt like I had to get that out before I could really start moving on. The sky sure is beautiful tonight, isn't it? How long have you, felt that way? Say, Joshua, if you had met me before Estelle, do you think you would have, no. I'm pretty sure that never would have happened. Sorry. I told you, don't worry. I can't deny there's a part of me that wants to keep you all to myself. But even if that were possible, I don't think it would be what I truly wanted. Because when it comes down to it, I really love both you and Estelle. That's partly why I wanted to see that troubled face of yours one last time. It was worth the effort to bring out, too. That was probably the best expression I've seen to date. You can be kind of a bully sometimes, you know that? Maybe. This feels like the most fun I've had in some time. So, what's on your mind, Joshua? What? I can easily tell you're worried about something. My instincts are quite sharp, or so I'd like to believe. Besides, I was watching you the whole time I was handling that interview earlier. Oh. How exactly am I supposed to take that? Still, you're hiding something, aren't you? Are you planning on doing something all on your own again? Your instincts are sharp, all right. Estelle surprises me from time to time, too, but you're definitely up there. Well, that's just how us girls are. So come on, tell me what's troubling you. It's nothing that major, really. I intend to leave the borough by the end of the month. But why? The country is finally at peace now. That's exactly why I think this is the right time. Ouroboros seems to have completely withdrawn from the country, and the restoration efforts are coming along smoothly. So maybe it's about time for me to leave on a journey of my own. It's taken me a long time to get this far, but I've finally been able to start thinking of myself as a person and not some kind of broken doll. I was finally able to achieve the very thing everyone wanted for me. That's been both a good thing and a bad thing. Good in that I finally feel human. Bad in that my heart's been aching in a way it never did before. Broken dolls can easily look away from all the terrible things they've done, but I can't do that anymore. That's why I need to go on this journey around the continent, so I can work towards atoning for all that I've done, so I can start embracing the person I now am in the truest sense of the word. I see. But if you do that, that means you won't be able to see Estelle for a while. Yeah, I know. It might not even be for a while, it could be a very long time. I'm still not sure how to break that to her either. That's the part that's on my mind right now. You've still got a lot of growing up to do, young man. Huh? If you ask me, you should just tell her in the way that comes most naturally to you. You don't have to write some big speech in your head in advance. Speak to her from your heart. You believe in her, don't you? No matter how you phrase it, she'll understand. All you have to do is get those words out there. You owe that much to her if you love her. You know that, right? Yeah, I do. I really am hopeless, aren't I? You shouldn't have to tell me something that obvious. You wouldn't be you if I didn't have to tell you. Plus, that kind of thing's part of why I love you too. Please stop teasing me. Just remember, it'll be okay. If anyone knows you, it's Estelle. Although if you ask me, she'll... Joshua, where are you? Oh, there you are. Look at these. They're Josette's goggles. I took them from her as spoils of war. I'm glad you were having fun, Estelle. Make sure you give those back to Josette later, okay? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Tune into next week's issue to find out. Wait, hold on. Chloe? I suppose it's about time I return to the banquet now. You can have Joshua back now, Estelle. Sure? Hey, Chloe? So, I'm not sure how best to put this either, but... Thanks. I'm glad I was able to talk to you like this. Really, I am. Oh. You're very welcome. Well then, I wish you both a very pleasant night. The heck? So, Joshua, what did you two, talk about? Oh, nothing much. She just gave me a bit of much-needed motivation. Oh, really? That sure clears things up. It's been 5 years, and Estelle has believed in me for every single one. And I believe in her, too. No, it doesn't. What motivation? Estelle, I've got something I need to tell you. I'm all ears. What's up? You see, Estelle. That's probably the end of the memory fragment. Yeah. Luxurious lunch. And 3,500 Mira. I'll take that. So is this one done then, or does it have a part 2? Done. Alright, so we're gonna end this episode right here. First we will... in the next one we are going to go on to the third plane. We'll actually do the split. I think I've decided how I want to split up my teams. So we'll go from there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.